Lately, the Fallout community has been losing their mind over cut content in Fallout 4 because apparently no other video game has ever had cut content. And so now, we're gonna look at what the Fallout community as a whole has to say about this. My boy Epoxy, normal cut content doesn't bother me. What does bother me is when a large portion of Fallout 4's map is water, and there's absolutely nothing in it. You won't find any creature except Mirelurks, nor does any of the sunken boats or vehicles have any hidden loot. I got so tired of swimming and checked out the entire sea area with collisions off, and there isn't anything. It's sad too when there was so much potential and so much tease towards a large portion of the area, and it's just filled with, well, nothing. It doesn't make me hate the game, it just makes me wonder what it could have been if so much wasn't obviously cut out. You shouldn't be able to notice the cut content everywhere you go, just my thoughts. And the reason I'm featuring this content is because of that last sentence. You shouldn't be able to notice the cut content everywhere you go. And that's something that I've never heard before that's actually rather intelligent, because in other games, you don't really notice until you dig into the files. Now, obviously, not any of us could have noticed a missing ending in the Brotherhood of Steel, but something like the combat zone, something like the underwater quest, it seems so empty, you're like, something had to have been cut here. You walk into the combat zone, it's a fully built arena, nothing's happening though except people shooting at you. This obviously had to be something cut. And that's a very intelligent standpoint on it that I didn't even think of at any time, because I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize that I'm realizing while playing the game there's content cut. As I said though, this is not an uncommon thing in game development. Content is always cut and there's always stuff left out, just you don't notice it. The difference is that with Fallout 4, people are digging in and people are noticing. The damage control for Bethesda in Fallout 4 is getting way out of hand. The thing that pisses me off most in this phrase is leave it to the modders. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I agree that honestly, I don't think Bethesda does it intentionally, but I don't think the community should defend Bethesda if there is this reason for them to leave out content is because they're leaving it to the modders. Sure, yes, we do have the good fortune of having a great community full of awesome, talented modders who can bring out this cut content at some point in time in these big DLC patches, as people like to call them. But to tell you the truth, that shouldn't be an excuse for Bethesda. I'm a Bethesda fanboy. I've come out and said it many times before, and I usually defend them before I argue against them. But to be honest, if they're leaving out cut content, and they are saying, which I haven't heard them openly say it, leave it for the modders, then yes, you should give them shit. But to tell you the truth, as a community, we shouldn't say, well, Bethesda, you're wrong, but you know what? It's okay. We have the modders. Sure, it gives you an optimistic standpoint on things, but we don't want to let Bethesda know that, hey, you can just leave out a bunch in the game and we'll finish it for you over time. Like I said, it's just a bit of tough love more than anything. Fallout 4 needs centaurs, bro. And you know what else it fucking needs? I was a big advocate of this during the summer before Fallout 4 came out, because during that summer I was playing Fallout 1 and 2. Bethesda, where are the Wanamingos? Those things are fucking scary, and they were added in a Fallout 3 mod and they were just as scary. It's like, oh my god, these are like Deathclaw 2.0. They were tough, they were fucked up looking, they were just intimidating, a lot like the centaurs that Christian mentions as well. But where are these Wanamingos? Why do we only see them in Fallout 2, according to my memory at least? I'm sure someone will prove me wrong. But yeah, these are creatures that need to come back. Fallout 4 did a great job of implementing brand new creatures, but man, bring back the Wanamingos, please. Do these fucks not know that there was cut content in Fallout 3 and a ton of cut content in New Vegas? Cut content doesn't mean holding out for DLC, it means that something about it didn't work. They decided it wasn't fun, or it didn't warrant being put in the game. Why have a harpoon gun if there isn't a whole lot of underwater content? Now, you make a great point there that why include it if it doesn't work? Perhaps it wouldn't have worked in the overall vision. Perhaps that ending would have pissed off more people than they thought. Perhaps the combat zone wasn't something that was fully utilized to the potential Bethesda saw. But one thing worth considering with your argument is that Fallout 3 had a lot of content cut because of engine constraints. New Vegas, as we all know, only had a little bit more than a year to be developed, so it was obvious that a lot was going to be cut because they hardly had time to work on the game. With Fallout 4, we've waited for this game for so long, and to find out that stuff was cut out, while it's a bit unsurprising when it's core stuff like this, like an arena mode, like additional endings, can bother people because they had time, they insisted they needed time, and when they were given time, it didn't seem to really work out as well. Not to say that Fallout 4 is a small game, but when there's notable cut content, not just little things like for Fallout 3 when you go into the restoration for the cut content, it's just a bunch of weapons that have different names. New Vegas is a bit more notable, but as for Fallout 4, it's these big kind of mode like things, like an arena mode is our best example. The cut content where you can become Elder of the Brotherhood of Steel made me cry knowing I could employ better pilots instead of random people on the street. Seriously, think about it, ladies and gentlemen, because how often do we see these vertibirds fly in and they just clip through buildings like they're not even fucking there? They go through like this big church and they just kind of ride down and they're like, hey, what's up, man? I didn't totally just fly through that building as if my vehicle was invisible. That, or they just overstay their welcome. These Brotherhood of Steel pilots are like, yeah, we're about to go down, but I'm just gonna keep circling these super mutants and letting them shoot us, and then of course I just wait for the, I'm exploring, I just wait for the and then they blow up inevitably. There's not been one time where they're about to blow up and they say, we have to retreat. Such a grim story of the Brotherhood of Steel. Sadly, the Chinese assault rifle was cut as well. That's not the first time I've seen that, but what? That kind of threw me off. Like, what? Dude, if you guys remember, I did a top 3 video for Fallout 3, and I believe the Chinese assault rifle was right up there. That gun was just kick-ass because it was more powerful than the original assault rifle, but you could repair it with the original assault rifles, which everyone and their mother in the wasteland had. I'm very sad, man. What the hell? This is one time I'm gonna call upon the modders. Bring back that Chinese assault rifle, because man, that shit is awesome. But yeah, overall, that's some of the stuff that the Fallout community has to say about the cut content in Fallout 4. A lot of displeasure, a lot of people being a bit optimistic about it, a lot of people making jokes about it. But yeah, that's kind of what the community is saying about it as of lately. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this more in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are down below in the description as well. Also, check out SugarBomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.